welcome back to Real Talk with Sarasota's luxury waterfront specialist, Roger Pettingell. Hey, Roger.
Hey, Mary Kay, we're live from our chart house location today because we're too busy to actually go out on location anywhere.
We are. And we find ourselves past President's Day weekend. We are in the thick of season.
Right, I mean, this is like what we wait for, right?
It is.
One of the cool things is, if you can see over behind my back, they're dredging New Pass.
Right.
Which is something that the boaters have been crying for, and the people on Lido have been wanting the sand.
Right.
So I'd actually noticed that the bridge went up fewer times last year because people couldn't get through with their big boats.
Right.
So it's kind of the good news, bad news, but kind of we thought we'd talk a little bit about what's going on, right? Like in the middle of February.
Right, so season is upon us. We got a little bit slower start this year, but I do think we're starting to see a few trends emerge.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, if you look back, and it really, the only time you can see these trends is when you're past them.
Right.
So January, and I'm going to start calling January as a slower month. We saw that last year. I look back in my notes, even the year before that. And is it slow, or is it just that people are, kind of getting off the holidays? People have left, they're not back yet.
Right.
It's cold everywhere. So I'm going to say no catastrophe because, again, picking up really strongly in February.
Right.
And we're about almost $25 million in pending sales or closed sales for the year so far. So that is nothing to complain about either.
No, it's not.
The, one trend we were talking a little bit about is,
right.
And you see this again. I should just do clips from each year and so that we could look back and not worry. What we see is like these slower Januaries, these early Februaries with like lower offers. I don't know what it is. People are saying, hey, it's a little slow in January. I'm going to come in with this really aggressive offer.
See if I can get a deal.
And then when they do that, they're not only just aggressive in price, there's a mortgage contingency and there's a kick-out clause and there's this and that. And what I always try to counsel people when I'm working with them, you can't have it all, right? At the end of the day, the best transaction is when the seller doesn't get enough, the buyer pays too much, right? Like everybody's a little bit uncomfortable. That's probably a good deal. So these deals that come in with all these contingencies and low prices, they're just not going anywhere.
Especially this time of year, right?
There's just, there's a limited amount of leverage that each side has. Kind of the seller is levered when there's low inventory, right? And the buyer has the leverage when they're cash and ready to close. And we have to kind of work the two of those together in order just to make a nice transaction.
Yeah.
So as you're preparing, either as a buyer or seller, take into consideration that there's got to be a win on both sides for this to actually come together. And, as we get through February and we start to see inventories go down, it all just kind of works itself out.
It does. And we'd be happy to help you on the list side or the buy side. Please call us at 941-387-1840 or be sure to visit us at longboatrealestate.com.
Now get to work. Get to work.
Thanks so much for joining us on Real Talk.